Shalom, shalom, brother Donnell.
That's right, yeah.
Coming to you guys with a factual Friday, right? Today's gonna be a good one, man. Not too long, man. We're gonna shed some light on some things. Um, kind of levying back off of the topic from yesterday, where the brother Azrael went into, the catastrophes in Haiti and how them brothers, through the Spirit are, speaking the words of the Most High God and don't even know it, right? And we know these things were embedded in them within their coming from their forefathers, right? They're only reiterating things that their forefathers have declared, right, whether they know it or not. And so before we get into this thing, man, we'll be remiss without giving all honor and glory and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by the way of his son, who he sent as an instrument of salvation for the nation, right? As the hopeful elect, we come on here week in and week out, and we go on the highways and byways on every Sabbath, right? Just trying to make our calling and election sure, presenting our bodies as living sacrifices, man. So shalom to all the brothers out there that go out and do the same. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters out there that are currently enduring in this truth, trying to stay grounded in this truth and anchored in this truth by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments on an everyday basis. Shout out to all the women. Shalom to all the women out there that's holding down their ribs. And if they don't have, I mean, not their ribs, but holding down their husbands. And if they don't have a husband, man, they're preparing themselves for that time, right? But without further ado, we're gonna get into this video. The title of this video is called "The Secret to Being Invincible," right? And that's a quote out of something we're gonna look at today. So, it's a factual Friday, so we got to bring up some facts, and some history, right? Some good things to know because we're starting to see them come back on the earth again. And so this quote is actually from an article. I got one article to show, and then I got a short little clip to show. We're gonna bring out some precepts through the spirit. I got some on hand that just came to my mind as I was preparing for this. And then if the brother Azrael has any, he can also contribute as well. We're gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. Right. So this quote, the title of the video is called "The Secrets to Being Invincible," and it's coming from this quote. From this article right here. It's called "The Liberty or Death Proclamation," right, by Jean Jacques Dessalines. I'm probably butchering that, right? But he's Haitian, right? So however you would pronounce that in Creole, right? That's how you do it. In Creole they have a lot of Jean Baptiste, right? It's a common name in Haiti. Where they get it from? Well, they were conquered, you know what I'm saying? But their roots go back to this Bible, and their forefather, who was John the Baptist, right? Who was all of our forefather, right? Who Christ said was one of the greatest prophets on the scene. And so we're gonna dive a little bit into this article. Um, Before we dive into it, this is an older painting, right? I want to show some pictures though of the actual article, just for reference sake. So what it looks like, man, it's called the Liberty or Death Proclamation. It was an actual proclamation, right, written in ink by the commander himself, right? Strong black man, right? The boy was on a horse and everything, right? Just to give y'all a quick little snapshot of these articles, this article, man, for Factual Friday, man. Just give y'all some authenticity. But I'm gonna go back to where the brother can read it more fluently to the article that was typed out. Right, it says some good stuff in here. It says some good stuff in here. Um, so the Liberty or Death Proclamation by Jean Jacques of Haiti. Right, little quote right here: "War, even to death, to tyrants. This is my motto." Right. saying that, hey man, he got tired of these tyrants and he was willing to die, right? This is the original give me liberty or give me death. People don't want to talk about this. Let's see if we can get a timestamp when the when this was written. Liberty and independence. This is our rallying cry. Um, and so I'll get the time. I'll get when it was actually written later on if it doesn't say it in this article. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I do want to read some things in here that kind of shed light on what we were going over yesterday, right? On Think About It Thursday. So um, you can start reading, man, from right here from the top, and then I'll let you know when to stop real quick.
The article says, "What then? Bent for many ages under an iron yoke, the sport of the passions of men, or their injustice, and of the caprices of fortune, mutilated victims of the cupidity of white Frenchmen, after having fattened with our toils these insatiate blood suckers."
Right? And he's just going on. And hey, man, I also want to say, man, right? People also want to say, hey, look, we this isn't our language, right? Of course, we know our original language is Hebrew, but the brother is speaking right here, man, and is you see how elegant he's speaking, right? You see how the word choice that he chose to use, right? We always get flack about speaking slang and all this stuff. We don't know how to speak proper. Hey man, we were the best to do it. You know what I'm saying? Look how he's articulating his words. They say the most powerful thing for a black man to do is articulate his thoughts, right? And this is what this man was doing. He articulated his thoughts and his declaration and his proclamation, right? And the crazy part is it's been around this whole time and our people just have lacked to see it. But a little bit about what the brother was saying, man, just to break a little bit of that down, how he started out the article, pretty much saying, hey, look, what are we supposed to do now? Right? After we had irons on our necks, right? The yokes of iron around our necks, right? And we were made a sport of passion to these white captors of ours, right? We know about Mandingo fighting and all that stuff. Not only that, man, slavery wasn't no cakewalk, right? A lot of that was for entertainment for them, entertainment purposes, right? For their passions, right? And their injustice, as he says, right? For our misfortune, right? Mutilated victims. They cut up our bodies and did nasty stuff. They fed our babies to alligators, right? And he's calling them bloodsuckers, right? It says they were fattened with our toils, right? Not only with our labor, but they came unto our land and they stole all of our goods, all of that stuff, right? And so I just wanted him to read a little bit of that at the beginning, just to set the tone of how Mr. Jean Jacques was coming. He wasn't playing around with him, right? He
Right.
wasn't playing around with him.
It's something to think about too. Now, I don't know in history if this ever happened or if it's been recorded. Probably hasn't been recorded, but I'm led to believe that something like this probably happened. Just think about this, right? They had Mandingo fighters, and I can see that right now, drunk men betting on their fighters. And one man says, "My fighter only has one arm, but I know for a fact he can take your greatest fighter." And I could just see um, this. I could just see a man going up to his Mandingo fighter and say, "Hey, boy," he says that his fighter can beat you with one hand. I said, "My fighter can beat him with one hand. So we're gonna have to cut your arm off." And I could see them just cutting his arm off and just making them fight. That kind of what stuff like that comes to my mind when it talks about bloodsuckers and um, caprices of fortune and for the sports of passions of men. Right? They treated us like toys.
Con,
They treated us like animals.
man, right? Beautiful
Satiated
point.
bloodsuckers.
Beautiful point. Um, Con, man. And so this was written, I just looked it up. This article was written in 1804, right? 1804. Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. I got to, hey, keep reading right here. Start at we.
We should again have seen the sacrilegious horde make an attempt upon our destruction, without any destruction of sex or age, and we,
Read that part again.
Salakia, what?
Read that last part again.
Without any distinction of sex or age.
Right? That sounds familiar, don't it? That's coming straight out the curses, right? I didn't even plan to go into this one, but when you're reading this, man, so many precepts come to mind. We go over the curses every week when we're on the street, right? Said he didn't regard the persons of the sex or the age, right? What does that sound familiar? This is, hey, man, hey, and these people had to be in tune with the Bible, man, because they're speaking straight scripture. I'm gonna go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and I think it is verse 50, verse number 50, man. And then go ahead and read this. Read that, man. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28 and 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. I mean, it's hey, he's taking a page right out the curses, man. He's like he's reading straight from the curses, right? You can't make this stuff up, man. But I'm gonna get to the part where I really wanted to emphasize, man, and it's gonna go along with the video, the short little clip too. We're gonna start right here, man. We're just gonna read this paragraph right here, and this is where at the bottom right here is where you see I got the title of the video, "The Secret of Being Invincible," and we're gonna find out what the secret of being invincible is, right? So if you start right there for me.
Blacks and yellows, whom the redefined duplicity of Europeans has for a long time endeavored to divide.
Well, I watched that. So stop right there, right? Blacks and yellows. This is also a these are terms blacks were put on terms of African Americans, Negroes, right? Those are Jamaicans, uh, you know, the Caribbean of Negro descent, right? And then you got the yellows, which were considered your Hispanics, right? Your Hispanics, your Mexicans, your Brazilians, your Puerto Ricans, right? Blacks and yellows combined, right? What does it say right here? Whom the refined duplicity of Europeans, who the white man has for so long time endeavored to imbibe, to divide. We say this on the street all the time, right? What is the white man? The white man's the oldest trick in the book is to divide and conquer, and that's what he's been trying to do to us blacks and yellows. Because if he can convince us that we're different people, that we're not one and the same, half the battle's already won. You know what I'm saying? Because we're already strong enough by ourselves, just as blacks. They're already strong enough by themselves as Hispanics. But hey, if they can divide us and stop us from uniting, that's the key. Because if we ever unite, that's going to be the scary sight. You know, if we take all the talent, if we take all the natural genetic ability to just to destroy, right? To compete, to conquer from the Negroes, right? That passion that comes with the Negroes, and we mix it with the loyalty and the discipline of the Hispanics, right? We mix all that stuff together, we'd be unstoppable. If you keep reading them for me right here,
Right. Um, who are now consolidated and make but one family.
and make but one. He said, "Hey, but now we understand. Hey, we're one family now, right? We understand that we're family. When we talk to Hispanics on the street, you know what I'm saying? Before they leave, we always say one thing in Spanish. We say "Pelante mi gente," right? Saying "Rise, my people."
That was March On, my people.
Rise, my people. March on, my people. Same thing, right? And so we also say, hey, look, um, my, my Spanish is leaving my head now, right? But we also say, hey, look, yo y tú, es una gente, saying we're one people. They try to make us seem like we're different, but we're one, man. We're family. We go back to the same people in the Bible. All right, keep reading for me.
Con. Without doubt, it was necessary that our perfect reconciliation should be sealed with the blood of your butchers.
Right, our perfect reconciliation. Right. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get a precept for this real quick.
Con.
I really got two in mind.
So, hey, look, he's slick kind of prophesying that how we're going to be reconciled together, blacks and browns, blacks and yellows, is through the butcher of the people that divided us.
Right. I'm
That's
gonna
what
pull.
bring us together. When we see, because my oppressor is the same as their oppressor. When we see our oppressor go down, that's when we're going to be reconciled. And we know our oppressor's going down by who the world calls Christ.
Con.
He comes to save us. He's going to bring us together. There's not going to be no Jew nor Greek. There's not going to be no
Exactly.
free.
And this is the exact same reconciliation that the Bible is talking about, right? And we get the context at the beginning of the paragraph, right? Of who it's talking about. Is it talking about everybody? No, it's talking about the blacks and the yellows, right?
And
So about black,
this was in the 1800s on the
right,
islands. They understood this.
right. It's all simple stuff to grasp, you know what I'm saying? But as we have been indoctrinated for so long, it's a little hazy, right? It doesn't make any sense. But once you start coming to your senses, once you start opening your eyes on how the world is ending up right now, like the videos that we seen yesterday, it was like, hey, look, hey, God's gonna punish America for how they're treating Haiti. Like the man said, hey, look, I don't know who's gonna save us. It might be a dark night or somebody. Your eyes start opening, you start seeing the Bible for what it actually is, right? But this is, but he said something important, man. He said the only way we're gonna be mended is by the blood. Is if we come together and it's sealed by the blood of our butchers, right? So this is the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. Can you read this for me?
So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and
Right?
the land cannot be.
The blood defiles the land, man. And the lands that we've been in, right? That we've been captured by our captors, our oppressors. They've been polluting the land with our own blood, with our blood. The only way we can get cleansed, right? And this is a very solid biblical principle, right? A lot of people don't think it still stands, but it does. It's the law of God, right? And it says the only way that the land can be cleansed is how? Keep reading.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
But by the blood of him that shed it, right? The blood of your butchers. That's the only way. It's the only way, right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Um, where'd you leave off of? Blood of your butchers right here.
Similar calamities have hung over your proscribed heads, a familiar ardor to slake your enemies
Right?
has signalized you.
Right? So it says similar calamities have hung over your head. Again, man, we go over the curses. Not only when we read the curses to the so-called black man in America, right? We can read them the same way to the Hispanic because they have witnessed what? Similar calamities. They've witnessed being cursed in the city and cursed in the fields. Who's living more in the projects, in the hood, than more than the blacks and Hispanics? No one, right? Who's cursed in the field more than the blacks and Hispanics? No one. Who got taken on ships, right? Who is known for growing up without a father figure in the household, right? Only the blacks and a similar calamities,
Right. And when it says a familiar ardor to slake your enemies, just off the reading comprehension that I have, I don't know what a lot of those words meant, like ardor and slake. But if I'm reading that with reading comprehension, I'm reading a familiar ambition to kill your enemies or get payback from your enemies, right?
huh?
Um, you know, all the things that we've been through, we kind of on our last straw. The natives, the Mexicans, the so-called blacks, right? Was watching a show, a series the other day, and it was called 1923, and it was a Native American girl on there, and it was her last straw, and she had to do what she had to do, right? She was getting beat into becoming a nun, and they was saying scriptures and doing all different type of wicked stuff to her to try to punish the savage out of her, which was her Indian roots, and she had to do what she had to do. Also, I seen a video on TikTok or Instagram. You know, a lot of people do those prank videos where you go into like Walmart or something, go down the aisle and say random stuff to people. Well, this so-called white man went down this aisle and he had some overalls on and he looked at this black guy. It was a prank, and he said, "Pass me that can of beans, boy." And the black guy said, and the white dude said, "Do you hear me, boy? Pass me them can of beans, boy, right now." And the black dude took off his jacket, put it on the ground, and tackled this man. He said, "It's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank." When I watched that video, I was like, yeah, we'll never go into slavery again because we've hit rock bottom. We're on that last straw. And like it says here, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have a familiar ardor to slake our enemies.
Right. To get some get back, right? You know, and that just comes with being oppressed naturally, right? What does it say? Ecclesiastes 7:7, where it says, "Surely oppression will make a wise man mad." It's gonna happen, right? Nothing you can do about it. If you constantly beat somebody for no reason, they're gonna get mad.
Just like a
Right?
dog.
Just like a dog, right? This part right here, it says, "Has signalized you." Hey, man, your calamities, right? Your ambition to seek your revenge on your oppressor has a signalized you. A light bulb don't went off. Hey, it's not only happening to us, it's happening to them too, right? Why are they only doing it to us and to them? It signalized you. The light bulb went off, right?
You know that go with shall be for a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. Signalize you. It's,
Come,
it's literally a sign. It says sign in there. It's a sign, right? Just going back to the curses, the things that the similar calamities have signalized or created a sign over your proscribed heads. That's what this is saying.
come. That's Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46, right? That these curses be a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. They're signalizing you. The like fate is reserved for you, right? That get back is reserved for you. Keep reading right here.
And the like interest must therefore render you forever one.
What? It says what?
The
In the
like
like interest.
interest must therefore render you forever one.
Nah, just for that time. After we kill them, we can go back being separate people.
Forever one.
Forever one. Forever one. I'm gonna pause right there and get this precept. Um, gotta get this precept. It says forever one, right? So watch this. What precept I want? I think I want the Ezekiel one.
Right. So
No. I want Jeremiah right now.
a lot of people in the world think that Christianity is going to be the thing that brings everybody together, but it's going to be the like hatred. It's going to be the like um, ardor to slake your enemies
You
that
gotta articulate your words, man.
bring everybody together. Right, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the sand of this, as of the sand of the sea, a great multitude of those are going to be reconciled together, and the whole world's going to see it.
Con, you can read this for me. Because he said, hey, it's gonna forever make us one. One of these days, hey, we're gonna get up out of here and we're gonna be forever one. Right?
Jeremiah 3:18, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
Right? That day is coming, right? It says the house of Judah, which is what, the southern kingdom? And then you got the house of Israel, which is the northern kingdom. Right? A lot of people can see it as the so-called blacks and Hispanics. Some people see the northern kingdom as being the Hispanics. Some people see the southern kingdom as being the so-called blacks, right? But it says in that day, both of them are going to walk hand in hand out of the land of the north after the Most High God has delivered us from our enemies, right? and he's going to set us in that land. Going back to Isaiah chapter 14 and 1, right? He had mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set us in our own land, right? And in those days, we're going to rule over our oppressors, right? The day is coming. The day is coming, just like the videos that we watched yesterday, right? Where they were saying, hey, look, man, I don't know, somebody's going to have to come and save us, man. And that day is coming. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "Hey, we were sold into our enemies, and no man can buy us." Meaning, no man can redeem us out of these circumstances. Right? Only one man can, who the world calls Jesus Christ. He's coming back to unite us. Christ is coming back to unite us. That's the thing. Matter of fact, let's get that, because Christ is coming back to unite us, man. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians 2 and 14. This is what Christ is coming to do. Oh, this is good. Read that for me.
Ephesians chapter 2 and 14. For he is our peace, who hath made both one.
What? Made what?
Who hath made both one.
Speaking about Christ, right? He's our peace. He's what's going to make us one again. We're separate people right now. He's going to make us one. How's he going to make us one? Keep reading.
And hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
He's broken down that middle wall of partition, right? That the enmity that we had against each other. That our oppressor came in and set before us. The one that came in to conquer and divide, right? They came and made us two different nations, really, when we took hold of those strange idols and whatnot that was theirs, right? Made that separation. Christ is coming back to destroy that enmity and to break down that middle wall of partition to make us one people again.
Right. Just like the brother said in the article, we'll be reconciled as one with the common interest of seeing pretty much revenge from our enemies, man. That's
Right.
what salvation is. And that middle wall of partition that's being broken down, that Christ is coming to break down, is taking down our enemies for us. He's coming back for his people.
Let's keep reading. After it says, "Render you forever one."
Indivisible and inseparable.
Indivisible. Hey, this time when we come back together, we're gonna be inseparable, right? You're not gonna be able to divide us. Keep reading.
Maintain this precious concord.
Precious concord, right? It's gonna be a precious concord. Other, i.e., aka a precious covenant, right? In Hebrews, he says, "Hey, behold, the days come where I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, with the house of Judah." This is that precious concord.
Right.
Keep reading them.
That happy harmony amongst yourselves.
That happy harmony amongst yourselves. What's the quote from the movie? My memory is bad. With Nat Turner, "Birth of a Nation," right? Where he's standing on the porch. There you will sing a new song, right?
Psalms, what is it, 147, 149?
Right, man, right? Talking about singing a new song. Once we up out of here, once we get from this lower state, it's gonna be a what? A happy harmony amongst ourselves. All right, keep reading.
Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51 talks about the voice of them that flee and escape Babylon. That harmony, man. Also singing that they sung a new song when Moses was giving it, passing the torch over to Joshua, and they was
And when
the promised land.
right, and when they made it out of the land of Egypt, that's the first thing they did was sing a new song. It said, paraphrasing, um uh Glory to the highest, for he has destroyed the horse and the horse and his rider, right? When he crashed the waves down and killed all those Egyptians, man. He sung a new
right?
song there too.
They sung. It's prophesied that sing a song in Revelation, right? When the 144K gets sealed, says they know a song that no man knows, right?
Right. Con,
Nobody sees this salvation coming. That's gonna be that new song, man, and no
con,
man sees it coming.
con. Mighty point. Go ahead and finish it out for me.
This is really talking about Revelation right here. That happy harmony amongst yourselves. It is the pledge of your happiness, your salvation, and your success. It is the secret of being invincible.
Con, man. It's the pledge of your happiness and your salvation and your success. What does it sound like? Here is the patience, right? And the faith of the saints. They're who are patiently and faithfully waiting for their enemies to go into captivity that took them into captivity, for their enemies to be killed with the sword that killed them with the sword, right? This is the patience of the saints, right? That Revelation is speaking about, chapter 9, I believe, right? It is the secret of being invincible. What's the secret of being invincible? Is if we unite, blacks and yellows, man. It's on the way. It's on the way. Shout out to the young brother Tay, man. The young brother Tay, he sent this video to our chat today. And after reading this article that was written in 1804, and just to seeing something more relevant today of our people just we're finally getting it. And one of these days it's gonna click, man. One of these days it's gonna click, and it's gonna be hell to pay the captain, right? It's gonna be hell to pay the captain when we finally all get it, when we finally all unite, right? But I want to go ahead and play this real quick.
Fair use.
Fair use, fair use. Hopefully it don't sound like an echo. Hey, let me know if it sounds like an echo, man. So the bill has hit Governor Abbott's desk and has been signed by Governor Abbott. Basically, the anti-sanctuary city bill. Is it an echo?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I don't know why it's stuck like that though. I'm gonna try to refresh the page. This man right here, man. Hold up.
I told him, hey, Mom, I spent 8 years on this degree, but I hate it, and I really want to change jobs. I'm sorry, I know this sounds. So the bill has hit Governor Abbott. Basically, the anti-sanctuary city bill has been passed and is now law. And what that bill says is that if local law enforcement or state police view a criminal activity afoot, they make a stop on that state crime, and then they can inquire into the status of an individual's residence. Are they a lawful U.S. citizen? Are they here with a green card? Are they a permanent resident alien? Or are they here illegally without documentation? And if they are here illegally without that documentation, then the feds can get involved, and then they can take it from there. I think this is a fantastic law. It is time to start enforcing the laws that are on the books instead of the state and local officials legislating from their own little tiny offices. So, just to explain a little bit what she was saying, man, because um, our oppressors, man, they like to get on TV and they like to use words and they like to articulate in a way where the majority, the marginalized people, the minorities, the blacks and Hispanics, they can't comprehend, right? And so they say these things, right, and it goes over your head, and they make it seem like this is the perfect way to do it, right? So to break what she's saying down is the state of Texas has made new laws where they can racially profile Hispanics, right? And pretty much, hey, if they have any suspicions that a Hispanic man or woman or child is an illegal immigrant, they can pull you, they have the legal rights to pull you over, ask for your green card, all of that stuff, right? Just because of how you look. This is the definition of racially profiling, right? And they done made it legally, right? They done made it legal. And you heard what she said. She said,
I think this is a great law, right? We can start enforcing these things, man, and start and really clean up our neighborhoods, all of that stuff, right? And so listen to what the brother has to say though. Listen to what the brother has to say.
An awful law because it's nothing more than a legal.
Man, killing me, man. Killing me. I'm gonna try to rewind it. That's terrible, man. Terrible, bro. Try to skip, man. Why is it loading, man? See, that's gonna make me mad, bro.
What's the title of it?
Um, that's gonna make me mad, bro. It's
Are they
called.
here with a green card? Are they a permanent resident alien? Or are they here illegally
I'm just gonna let it play.
documentation? And if they are here illegally without that documentation,
Fair use.
the feds can get involved and then they can take it from there. I think this is a fantastic law. It is time to start enforcing the laws that are on the books instead of the state and local officials legislating from their own little tiny offices.
It's an awful law because it's nothing more than a legal way for law enforcement to racially profile Mexicans and Hispanics. This law was written into existence by Governor Abbott to specifically go after a said group of demographics here in the state of Texas. Secondly, it is awful that we want to call them illegal immigrants to the point to where if a cop does not do his job according to this law, he can be charged and arrested, and the cities can be given a $25,000 fine per day. Well, we'll put a cop in jail for not asking somebody's immigrant status, but we won't put cops in jail for shooting and killing unarmed black people.
That's not true. And that's
Thirdly,
way
I think
too
it's
far of a
awful
step.
to
Murder
call
is
them-
against the law.
Yeah, but it's not just something you kill black people, you're a cop. See, the problem in America and this state
What about
is
the Dallas case
but-
where that cop was just
because
charged
there
with
was
murder?
video to show he was
So
absolutely
you can't
lying.
make these broad
No,
statements. It's just
because
simply not
often
true.
there's video, man, where we are killed by cops and nobody ever goes to jail. Ask Eric Garner's family that. Ask the family right there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Brother Alton Sterling's family.
But your
They're
statement
not
is
getting
not
justice. So
correct,
video would be meant
Cornell.
for us. But let's get back to the
Your
immigrants. I would say to the Hispanic and Mexican community, what you got to do now, hook up with the black community and unite in political power. Because if Mexicans and black people unite in Texas, we can control the governor, we can control the lieutenant governor, and we can control politics in Texas, period. I'm saying to Latino brothers and sisters, don't fight them by yourself. If you hook up with black people and we unite, I'm telling you, we can run Texas and then pass laws to deal with those who hate us.
You're advocating for criminal activity, Cornell. These people are not here lawfully. They need to do what our ancestors did, what many Mexicans have done.
No,
What many, don't interrupt
Your
me.
ancestors came here illegally. Wasn't nothing legal about your ancestors. They came illegally and they murdered, they raped, they pillaged a whole race of people. This country, Texas, Arizona, California, belongs to Mexicans.
Cornell, get back
It was
to the
stolen from them.
You
So
tell me
you
to get
folks,
back to
your
the point.
ancestors, they came
No,
here
no,
illegally.
you're not being fair to me here. You say stay on topic. I say, okay, we'll stay on topic. And then as soon as we start talking about illegal
Your
immigration,
ancestors.
you go back to the black issue. Let's stay on
Your
topic right now.
ancestors are the master illegal immigrants.
Give me the opportunity to respond in that, you know what? We're all Americans here. And if you are here legally, absolutely. Then we need to come together and we need to pass laws for enforcing the law.
Well, perhaps Native Americans should have passed laws against your ancestors.
Straight like that, man. Right? Straight like that. The brother articulated beautifully. He said, "Hey, if blacks, Hispanics unite, there's nothing. It's a scary sight.
You know what?
We can control everything."
You know, a lot of so-called white people love going to that excuse of our ancestors. They need to do it like how our ancestors did. You're not going to disrespect our ancestors. Our ancestors did a lot to get us to this point. And what they really want to say wholeheartedly is we still have a heart of war, and we're proud of our gladiator ancestors for winning a battle to get this land. And if you want it, you need to do it the same way and come take it. But we know that you're not going to. That's really what they want to say. They really want to say we still have a heart for what's the word, man? We still have a heart for war. We still have a heart for battle, and we're proud of our ancestors for doing what they did because we got what we got. But they'll never say that. They'll never say that. They just want to say that they're proud of their ancestors and we fought for this and blah 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 blah. But why'd you even fight? Because it wasn't yours.
Right. Not only that, man, they're riding off of the fact that a deal was made, right? We need to take this back to how our ancestors were, right? They came to an agreement when it came to breaking down who the land was. They bartered, whatnot, right? This is where that term Indian giver comes from. Because after the Native Americans, they noticed the deal was faulty. They were like, "Hey, we don't want to do this deal no more," right? Because that's what the so-called oppressor, the white man, has done, right? He's a liar. He's a thief, right? They want to go back to the days where hey they could beguile us into certain things. Like right now, they want to beguile us into thinking that this law is going to be for the betterment of everybody. No, it's going to be for the betterment of the white Americans.
Right. And who's really determining what's legal and what's illegal? Right. They think that that word illegal and legal are broad terms that everybody should use. Right. And it's on their terms. They're the one making up what's illegal and what's legal. What's legal to you might not be legal to Mexicans.
Right.
Illegal to you might not be illegal to blacks or Hispanics. You're making up that and wanting them to stick to that. And I like how the brother articulated in the interview because, hey, look, we're not fighting by your rules. We don't think the way that y'all think. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? What you think is legal is illegal, and we're gonna tell you it is.
Right. Right. But this is the last precept I got. So if you want to read this, brother, and if you had any precepts, you can also bring that out as well. But this is the last one I got. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, 16 and 17.
Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Right.
And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Right. Talking about the children of Israel, right? And the children of Judah, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, right? So-called blacks and Hispanics. Who is the Son of Man? This is talking about Christ. We just read that Christ came to break down that middle partition and to make us one. Where is that being? What is he fulfilling? He's fulfilling Ezekiel, where it says, "Hey, look, take you the northern kingdom, take you the southern kingdom, and bring them back together, right? And make them one people again, right?" This is a mighty precept, and a mighty prophecy that has to come to pass. And I bring this out to say, to let me back on what the brother said in the video, right? He said, "Hey, look, if we unite, we're taking over the government. Hey, we're taking over the whole state of Texas, right? Why? Because of blacks and yellows, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, right? If the house of Judah and the house of Israel come back together as one and unite, what's going to happen?" The title of this video, it's the secret to being invincible. The secret to being invincible. And when that happens, it's game over. Game over, right? And that's all I got. So I yield. You got anything else, brother?
But
Con, man. So that was another factual Friday. We went into the Liberty or Death Proclamation, right, of the Haiti General Commander, and we just went over the secret of being invincible and what we got to do. Not only we got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's first, right? But then also we got to love our brothers and sisters, and we got to recognize who our brothers and sisters are, right? So us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, we got to come together. We got to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way we're gonna get up out of this thing. Can't do it alone. Got to do it together. But with that being said, man, I'm Brother Donald.
Brother Azrael.
and giving all honor and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, by way of his son, who is an instrument of salvation. As the hopeful elect, man, we say, Shalom, study hard, Israel. Keep enduring, man, and stay anchored, right? Till next time. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.